Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. We're just chatting out there before the show started. Trying to get over here to see if it started over on. And yes, it did. We got it going in all three places. So,
Yep.
So far, Yardstream work is working better than Restream did. Because every time I turned around, I was having problems with them. But I don't have any news except for the fact I don't know if anybody has heard. I mentioned this a while back, but Steve Good has been in the hospital again. And he's having a lot of problems with his. I think some of it results from his diabetes. It's no secret. He tells you his diabetes, but he's having some issues with, and he just got out of the hospital, and he said that he's trying to catch up on his work between his emails, and every year he sells Christmas ornaments and they're personalized, and then he sends them to you, and you cut them out. And so he's falling behind on that. And he's trying to get out the orders as fast as he can. But
in fact, he's offering the program for free now, so you can do your own. And if you're satisfied, you can send him a donation, and it's just the old trust method. If you
not that,
if you're happy, send him some money.
Yeah.
Is it a program or is it a?
He wrote a little algorithm, and it's on his website, and it's the ornament, and you can take and put your name in the ornament, and then print it and cut it out.
Okay.
Yep. So he had that a few years ago, or he's had it for years. If y'all don't remember, with the keychain, where you could go in and you can make your own keychain and put your name on the keychain and print the pattern out and make a keychain. So he's had that for years. So he just decided to do it this way because he said he can't keep up with the workload, and not only that, he said that he can't. He hasn't regained his energy, and he can't work at the computer as long as he used to be able to work at the computer. So, but say a little prayer for him. I've been wanting to call him the last few days when I read that on when he posted it, and things have just been happening around here so much that haven't had a chance. But I will get to him and call him.
Al says he won't be here tonight.
Yep, I just read that. Said he's in where? Somewhere in Texas?
Marfa, Texas. I don't know where.
Marfa, Texas? Yeah, I don't either. Okay, so I won't be here. And Donald already said he's got grandkids down. Actually, it's Jackie's grandkids, and we're going to be spending some time with them. So that's the only thing I have as far as what's wrong with Steve Good. Anybody else got anything? Anybody they know that's sick or anything? Any news y'all want to tell before we get started?
Got my sister-in-law moving in here. She's having some health problems. Can't hold a job up in Indiana, so we're going up to get her in a couple weeks. Bring her down here.
Where's she in Indiana?
I haven't got a clue. It's near IU. I know that. So.
Oh, Bloomington. Okay.
Yeah, in that area. But so actually, her dad is going to go up and get her and take her to Knoxville, Tennessee. We'll hook up in Knoxville and take her from there. So,
cool.
Just so she gets her health squared away and gets back on her feet. So.
Yeah.
Then we can kick her out as long as she finds a job in an apartment.
Yeah. I didn't know if you wanted to say anything about your wife, Paul. Did you?
Oh, it doesn't matter. She's just back in the hospital again.
Yeah, she's having health problems.
Yeah, she is. Her arthritis is just terrible. I was telling Russ that she takes a tramadol in about 4 hours. She takes a Norco in about 4 or 6 hours. She takes another tramadol, and that doesn't even touch the pain.
That's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
she's in the hospital, and they're running a bunch of tests to see if there's anything they can do for her.
Yeah. I talked to a lot of other disabled people, same thing I have, cerebral palsy, and they're always complaining about pain. I'm like, maybe I got the lucky gene here. I don't have any pain.
Yeah.
I just say, well, I lucked out on that one, I guess.
I guess.
But, geez, the list of medications these guys are on is crazy.
It's hard to get decent pain medicine now too, because they're afraid you're going to be addicted to it.
Yeah.
My brother,
all the laws on it.
My brother, he went to a pain management place, and they were giving him, I don't know if it was tramadol or hydrocodone or whatever, but they would give him urine tests every time he went in to see the pain doctor, because they wanted to make sure you were taking the medicine and not selling it to somebody.
Right.
My doctor is allowed to, by law, give me 3 months prescriptions of them, even my narcotics for my back. But every 3 months when I go to see him, if I don't go, I don't get no more prescriptions. But I have to do a test too to make sure that if they're in my system and I'm not faking it and selling them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
My doc actually finally said, "Here, let me give you 90 days worth. All right, get out of my hair."
Yeah.
So all my meds, he put 90 days on them. So I'll see you in 3 months. So.
Right. Yeah, they're not all I've gone down now since I'm getting the shots in my back to tramadol itself, and I didn't say anything to him the last time when I went in there and he refilled my 90-day prescription, but I had leftovers. And I'm like, I'm almost save these for a rainy day just in case.
I told the last time I had surgery, they fused 3 vertebrae in my neck, right? And I told my doctor like almost the same thing you just said. He said, I can give you one more, 30 pills, and then that's all I can give you. I'll have to cut you off. And I said, I just need them for when it hurts real bad. Those 30 pills are going to last me a year.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I know. After everybody says that about him, but
because I don't have to. Since I've been getting the shots in my back, it's I can take 2 ibuprofen in the morning, and that's all. I don't have to worry about it. So I think gabapentin, which helps with the actual nerve pain with the sciatica, I have to take that every day, but that's not a narcotic.
The only med I got that could be addictive is Ativan, and I don't even take that. I mean, back in Massachusetts, that 2014-15 winter where we had 3 storms back to back to back, and I had roof leaks, I had siding leaks, house was getting trashed. After that cleared, I would lie awake at night listening to rain and waiting to hear drops somewhere in the house. I could not fall asleep when it rained. It was driving me insane. And then I thought I was having chest pain. It was just a discomfort. And my wife and then my doc up there said, it's anxiety. Take these as needed. I've still got like 10 in the bottle. It's about 5 years old now. So I don't take it. Since we moved down here, I haven't taken any.
That's good. That's good.
We want to talk about politics. That'll change things. But other than that, I'm digging the weather and sunshine every day. And
we got JJE's out there, Lynn's Handcrafted Wood Sign, James Parker. He says, where's everybody at tonight? Donald is with grandkids, Dixon's with grandkids, and Al just let us know that he wasn't going to show up. I'm not quite sure where Al's at. So,
well, it's a good cover story. It's actually, they're in contract negotiations here. So, Russell's promised him a raise that hasn't showed up yet. So.
Yeah. He'll get a raise, all right. He'll get a 5-foot ladder from a 4-foot.
With no steps.
Yeah. Are we we gonna do any toy? No, not any toys. As far as toys like you're talking about, we're gonna be talking about toys as far as tool toys. That's what the toys were. That's what it meant in the thing. Let's talk shop with Russ. Yeah, Chris has got some new toys. I mean tools, and I got a new toy. Actually, I got 2 new toys. I haven't disclosed the other one. Aussie Man's out there. Good to see Aussie Man. I think I said James Parker already. JJE. Yeah. Michelle Marcuse out there again. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Good to see all y'all. I appreciate y'all being here every week. Really appreciate it. So yeah, remember Steve Good? Remember Paul's wife? Yeah. So Chris got some new toys, and he ended up having to build a table to hold them all.
Well, not specifically new toys, but my lathe tools were spread everywhere. There was some on the desk over there, some over by the lathe over there. And then the worst part is the little bits and pieces, the little screws and the extenders and stuff like that. Half the time I didn't know where they were. So I finally gathered everything into one spot, and I built a cart that everything is on now. So all my lathe tools and equipment are in the same spot. So
Right.
let me get the external.
Is it on rollers?
Yep. Let me get the extra camera going here.
All right, go ahead. I'm ready.
I'm trying here. Give me a second. Nope, not that one. There we go.
Cool.
All right. We good on that end?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, we can see it.
So it started out with I had a whole collection of drawers from a nightstand, a couple nightstands that we got rid of. I was using them for boxes to store things. They were all over the house. But finally got done with them using as boxes. So I said, well, I'm going to build a cabinet to store things with. And that kind of developed. I kind of do what I call design on the fly sometimes. I could be mid-project and completely change the project for no reason whatsoever. So it's nice and round.
Well, when you start building something and you see the way it turns out, you decide, whoa, wait, just 1 second. That ain't going to quite work out the way I thought it was.
Yep.
It's called a design change.
I've had a couple of those. I started thinking about a cable wheel, the wooden cable wheels everybody used to have. And I couldn't find one. Yeah. When I lived in Boston area, there was a company down the street that made them. Every house in the neighborhood had at least 2 of them. So, because they store them in the yard. You go out there at night and take them. But I couldn't find one, so I just cut some pine up into circles myself. And of course, then I've done at Home Depot, and I found out they're already pre-cut. But that's all right. But the first set, put that over here. The tools were just going to hang from this shelf down. But what was happening is they were getting cockeyed and stuff. They're bouncing around too much.
Right.
So if I moved it, I'd have to straighten everything out. So I put a second layer on of the exact same pattern of holes so they could pick up the tool and keep it from bouncing around. So,
what's in the top?
Very top is the storage of the little pieces, them bits and pieces, like
oh yeah, okay, all those screws and things,
gouge blades, things I don't want to lose, labels of things, so I don't forget what it is and I need to replace it. So I save the label sometimes. So,
yeah.
What else is in here? Oh yeah, back here, a racquetball. Well, you think about it. I was using a tennis ball every time I do like a cup or something where I need something at the other end, the open end, to hold it steady. I was using a tennis ball. It was working great until my dog found the tennis ball, and I never saw it again. So I had a racquetball in my truck, and I said, well, I know what that's going to be used for now.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that use those.
Yeah. It's coming pretty handy.
How many carbide tools compared to, or you use both, don't you? Carbide and?
I use a mixture of things. I got Tommy G's carbide. I got a couple of, where are they? Southby, is it?
Cool.
And these short ones are the ones that came with the Harbor Freight stuff. So as I get a better tool, I ditch the Harbor Freight one at a time. So,
Right.
I still got my Harbor Freight set, and I don't use it that often. But I mean, when I have to get into something tight, or
yeah,
they work fine. I mean, if you keep them sharp, they just don't hold an edge very well. So you got to sharpen them.
That's gonna say
Yeah.
that's the problem with them, is that they're made of steel that doesn't hold an edge. You use them to make one bowl, and you end up having to sharpen it.
And that's kind of my generic rule with Harbor Freight, that if it's got a cutting surface on it, I won't buy it there. So blades, sandpaper, that's not a cutting tool, but stuff like that, I don't buy at Harbor Freight. But I mean, their tools and stuff are getting pretty good.
Yeah.
We
So
talked
pan
about
your
that.
camera down to the bottom of it again.
What's the back
Yeah,
side?
where do you keep your chuck and stuff like that?
Oh, the chucks.
Yeah, your Nova.
Yep. They're all in the drawers down here.
Yeah, that's nice.
Kind of dark down
Yeah.
here.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I don't believe in throwing stuff away. I have more junk stored around the garage than get down. So, but I do eventually use things. But if it sits too long, I will eventually get rid of it. So
Yeah. A friend of mine told me he writes a date on everything he puts in his garage. And if it's over 3 years old, he throws it away, because obviously he ain't using it in 3 years. You don't need it.
Actually, not a bad idea.
I can't do that because I lied to my wife too much as to when it came in. So,
For real.
I'm amazed it came out as good as it did, even though it had almost a disastrous moment. Let's spin it around. I was moving it across the room, and suddenly it was back heavy. It wanted to tip. And all the other test runs, that never happened. So I figured out what it was. These big ass tools.
Oh yeah, those are heavy as heck. Those shape scrapers.
Hurricane?
Ooh, yeah.
I got two of them, and they're both on the back side. And they were just taking the cart over backwards.
Wow.
Right.
So
yeah, I've got a couple of those things too.
I love that.
I used them on that plate I showed you guys.
Maybe you need. How many wheels do you have underneath it?
5 now.
It was 4. Yeah, you need to add another wheel in that area so it doesn't fall over.
Actually, the 5th wheel is just sticking out as like an outrigger there. So just to catch the weight if it goes backwards. So.
Exactly.
And everything, the wheels, hardware-wise, all came from my scrap drives, my junk drives.
That's pretty cool.
So
didn't cost you a penny other than your time.
Yep. And actually, the top wood is pallet wood. Some of the frame is from pallet wood. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna give it
I like the round shape. It's unusual, but you can see all the tools being kind of like a half circle, so you can get to the drawers in the front. You can see all the tools.
Yeah, that's what the goal was. Is I don't want to constantly be walking around the shelf or something like that.
Well, you don't have edges on the cart hanging on stuff when you pull it around.
Yeah. No edges.
Did you draw any plans up for that, Chris?
No. I just shoot from the hip. I put some rough measurements on a piece of paper and go from there. It drives my father-in-law, who builds houses. He used to build houses. Crazy because he couldn't do that. He can't operate unless he's a plan.
Yeah.
He comes up to my shop and goes, "What are you gonna do with this?" I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. So, which is what I do.
That's actually like me. I'll see a need and I'll sit there and think about it for a few days and sleep on it. And the next thing you know, my wife will say, "Where are you going?" I said, "I figured out how I'm going to build it." Go outside and make it.
Yeah, sometimes the inspiration just hits you all of a sudden. So But that's it. And most of the parts, like I said, is scavenge. I don't like hurricanes, but I love post-hurricanes. I go out looking for things like hinges, doorknobs, any wood that's in good shape. I'll cut it down and take it with me.
I didn't even think of that. Hinges
it is a plethora of supplies after a hurricane. So,
you
just gotta be careful because a lot of people, they rip boards out and just throw them. Nails are still in them. So if I can get a couple 2x4s that are in clean shape, I can pull the nails. It's no big deal.
Yeah, my father told me one time whenever I was a kid growing up, he was stickler on if you like we were framing and something got messed up or we had to change something and the plans wasn't going to work or whatever. And we tore the wall out. They would take the 2x4s and just throw them like you said with the nails in them. Oh, if he was the foreman, man, he would chew your butt out. He said a nail is as bad as a rattlesnake.
I was at a what if it was a woodwork show or some kind of trade convention, and Tom Silver was there from This Whole House, and he said easily 10% of the project is hardware. So nails, screws,
right?
Because that's
Nails,
easy.
screws.
10%, probably more. So
Yep.
So you got to be conservative with your stuff. Always collect it, take it back. He has his guys walk around with the magnet after a project and picking up the nails.
Yeah.
So.
I have I actually now, when I was in the full-blown construction business, I had 3 magnets, and I would make my guys walk around the area that we worked at.
Yeah.
One of them was about 2 foot wide with wheels that would adjust, and the other 2 were just handheld magnets, and they would walk back and forth over the yard, making sure there wasn't any nails left. Yeah. I mean, you're going to eventually miss one. You can't get them all. But,
we had when we rented a house up the street, they had the roof done, and they made kind of an effort to pick up the nails, but I'm going to tell you, I spent the next 2 weeks picking up nails everywhere.
Well, if they're aluminum, the magnet's going to have a hard time picking them up.
Yeah, I know. But at the time, I got a jar full of roofing nails. So.
Yeah.
But, yes, that's it. And this is going to go with the grinder cart that's way back there. So
cool.
Which is also built the same way. So the old draws and scavenge parts. So,
I give it 2 enthusiastic thumbs up.
Yeah, really. Looks good. I like it.
Yeah, it came out great.
I like it.
Now I got to get the lathe lowered down so I can work on it. So.
Yeah, well, it's not only I like it. Well, it's not only that you did a great job. You didn't pay anything for it as far as all the wood.
There you go.
The only thing left is a couple coats of polyurethane, so I got to clean it up. It's easier.
Yeah.
And
of course, you made a video of it, right?
No, I didn't. I started to, and then somewhere along the line, I just got tired of moving the camera.
Well, when you're building something from scratch, you don't know which way or direction you're going, so it's kind of like hard to video.
Exactly. So, I tried hard not to have any empty horizontal surfaces.
Yeah.
You know what happens? It collects junk.
Yep. So, I got a bunch of junk laying around here right now.
Couldn't fix. I might maybe I'll go with an arcing top, like a Quonset type top. I don't know. So just to keep
horizontal surfaces are my enemy.
Yeah, me too. If you look at my table saw behind me, there's all kinds of shit up there right now.
So. Yeah.
But believe it or not, I cleaned that off this morning.
When I retire, I'm going to get the ultimate horizontal surface for my shop. It's the floor of a dumpster. It's like, there you go. I don't need that anymore. I don't need all this wood. I don't need that.
Yeah, but you will need it.
When we moved down here, I had to abandon a lot of lumber that I just couldn't fit in the pods. The pods were already filled to the max.
Yeah.
And I left hundreds of dollars of cedar boards in the rafters of the old shop.
See, that's the problem I have. I have so many tools that I don't really, other than small pieces, I don't have any room for storage for a lot of big pieces of wood.
Yeah, it just broke my heart, but what are you gonna do? I had to make some choices. It's gonna be equipment or the wood. So
Hey, Chris, we had a question out in the chat about the cart. Does any of the wheels lock?
No.
No.
Actually, I took the lock off of one because it kept jamming. So
hey, Russ, did you see our old friend TJ is out there in the chat?
Yes, that's what I was just looking at. TJ's Woodworking Shop. He goes, Chris, what's up?
Same old, living the dream. So.
And then Dan Inge says, miracles do happen. I made it through another birthday yesterday without a trip to the hospital.
Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah.
I hate those. There's I'm trying to think of who it is.
You can take me off full screen now, too.
Yeah, you're not on screen. I took it off.
Oh, I didn't close my window. My bad.
Give me 1 second here.
I'm going to get a fresh drink. Right back.
What's a triple, TJ?
It's a triple bypass.
Oh, okay.
That's what he had, was a triple bypass.
Yuck.
Who's
I
that?
just know that because he was on another show I was on last week.
Oh,
Who had the
Dad
triple
had one.
bypass? Dan?
TJ.
TJ.
Oh, TJ. TJ had a triple bypass. Okay, I didn't know who you was talking about. Wow, that's an extensive surgery right there, buddy. Glad you're doing better. Guy's Woodcraft Shop, and he says, "Nice job, Chris."
Thank you.
Oh, any of the wheels lock? That somebody already read that. There's something else I was. Yeah, happy. Oh, and everybody say happy birthday to Dan. Happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday, Dan.
Happy birthday, Dan. Dan
Aussie
Dan.
Man says you only have to stand on one nail to teach you not to leave
Yeah.
nails and boards.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yep. TJ's Woodworking Shop. Well, at least you're back out there. So, yeah, I got a new toy. I'll see if I can share the screen.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Yeah, Paul.
See you, Paul. Share
Okay.
screen. Share.
Bamboo.
Yep. That is my new play toy that I just got the other day. So, and it can actually do with you can buy hubs to put them together. It can actually do 16 colors.
Wow.
Yeah, up to 16 colors. Now, the one that I bought, they call these things AMS. I'm not sure. I have to look up what AMS stands for. But each AMS will hold 4 rolls of filament, which is what's sitting on top of this printer. And so you put 4 of them together and you got 16 colors. That drive me crazy trying to figure out what color was in there.
Now, are the right after the spool or the goes in, are those motorized or how's that work?
The spools or the AMS, is it motorized?
Yeah, see where your mouse was just then?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, right. Are those motorized or?
No, those are things that pulls them through and it counts them. And it actually has yes, I take that back. They are motorized. It pushes them down into the, but it's got a secondary filament. What do you call it? Trying to think of the name of it. Huh? No, a secondary. Can't think of the name of it right now. But yes, those are motorized. It has 2 of them.
Okay.
I mean,
4, right?
There's 4 of them up top and 1 inside the machine.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty. It's kind of small. It's only 256 by 256 by 256, but you know, I've been playing with it this week. It works great right now. It's a boat anchor. I put some red filament that I should not have put in it. I've been having some problems with it breaking, and I had it in the dryer for like 2 weeks, so I know it's not moisture because the other roll that's beside it, it don't have moisture. But anyway, to make a long story short, the piece broke off inside of it. So basically, this plastic AMS thing that's up top, I got to take it off and take it apart to get the filament out of it. But one of the things that there was a couple of problems with it that some people talked about, and number one is when you're printing with PLA, it's actually designed to do carbon fiber, nylon. I mean, all of it. You name it, it'll do it. That's the reason it's a sealed system. But with PLA, if you leave the door shut, it will actually overheat and cause the PLA to pre-melt or whatever and have problems. So if you'll notice, this AMS is sitting up top, and there's this little silver knob that's on it. That's actual glass, and the glass can come off. So I built a stand for mine, which holds the AMS, which is the filament, about 2 inches above the 1.5 to 2 inches above the actual printer. And then I built a slide-in thing. So if I predominantly print PLA. So if I want to print PLA, I just take this little knob, lift the glass up, and slide it into that thing underneath, and it just stays open all the time. It stays vented. You don't have to leave the door. I think that's the most stupidest thing in the world. If you want to print PLA on a brand new printer, you got to leave the door open. Some engineer obviously didn't think that through. This mouse moves so fast, but that's what it looks like without the AMS sitting on top of it.
So can you just leave that sitting on the side?
Yes. Oh, you don't have to have it on top. You can put it anywhere you want. Yeah. And if you sit it on the side, then you could actually print you a little wedge that you could slide underneath the glass to keep the glass open. But you see, a lot of people, and that's what one of the complaints was, a lot of people don't have a lot of room, so to speak. So therefore, they want it on top to take up less room. But if you have it on top, you can't lift the lid.
How tall is that thing? Len was asking.
I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 16 or 17 inches tall. Yeah, it's not really, really tall. It's and I'm only 5'11", and I can reach, even though I built the thing above 2 inches above the machine, I can still reach in and get those rolls without any problem. I don't have any problem changing out the rolls. But that's the AMS machine. These are the things you were talking about.
System.
Automatic material system. That's the first time I've seen that after all this time. I've been looking for what the heck that stood for.
Yeah, those look like the feeders on your head on a regular printer.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty nice.
What is the name?
Brian,
go ahead.
Have the tip, weird tip. Run a little PETG carbon. The carbon smooths the filament track, so you will get less breakage. Run it through each slot.
Oh, run it through each slot. Okay. Run on PET carbons. I've never heard of that, but I'll sure try it. Well, this material that got stuck in this one was my fault. I'm going to, as soon as it's going in the garbage, trust me, I'm throwing it away, because I had problems with the previous printer, and I thought it had come in contact with moisture. So I put it in a dryer, and it was in a dryer with an actual electric dryer, and it had silicone bags in there to absorb the moisture. So I know there's moisture content. There's no way that filament can have any moisture content in it. So it's just a bad batch for some reason. It's getting chunked.
Aussie Man wants to know how much was it?
Well, it depends. I got it on the Black Friday sale, but if you didn't get it on the Black Friday sale, you would pay $1,499 for the complete set. Yeah.
Not in my play budget.
What is is that called an extruder?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's the see, it has an extruder. It was just showing going through some of these pictures. It has an extruder on the head. See, that's got gears in it with an extruder on it also. So it must have 5 extruders, 5 different extruders.
Wow.
Yeah. It's got LiDAR. So whenever it first prints the first layer, it actually, the LiDAR goes across and inspects the first layer to make sure that it's smooth and adhering to the bed before it'll actually start the project. The only difference that I don't like, one of the things, there's the Bamboo X Series Linear Advanced Calibration, FDM 3D printing. Yeah, it actually prints 3 lines and it comes back and scans them also to make sure that the filament's printing right.
Okay, that's not exactly LiDAR.
What is LiDAR then?
I can explain. LiDAR is when you have something that's spinning. Hang on, where's my demo case at? A spinning device that sends a laser beam out, beam bounces back, and it picks it up.
You sure it's not bouncing it off the table and picking it up so it can tell the depth
Now
of the
this
material?
is different. That thing lays a laser beam down, and then there's a camera that looks at the bumps in the laser beam, and it knows how far away those bumps are, so it profiles the image. I got one of those too. I'll show you.
Okay, cool. After we finish this, you can show.
Yeah, after you guys, let me get my stuff together. I'll show you.
Yeah, but it says that a LiDAR that measures depth in micrometers. I mean, that's
but it's not exactly LiDAR.
Oh, okay.
Let me find my scanner case here.
Dual automated bed leveling for double guaranteed prints. So I mean, it really prints nice. I'll show you some prints in just a second. It's definitely fast. It and the V4, I would like to see them heads up on a print to see which one's the fastest. Because I love my V4. Stop sharing. Yeah, the Flusun V4, I'd love to see which one's the fastest. And like I was telling somebody or the guys today when we were starting, Hereford is the problem. Even though it's fast, it's actually slow. Because every time it makes, I made this little snake. You can see how smooth it is compared to a lot of them. But it actually printed the black and then printed the orange on top of the black. But here's the thing: when we're talking about speed, it can be as fast as it wants, but it's got to change the filament. So that takes time to purge the filament out of the tube. To get the next color in the tube to the head in order for it to work. So it can be as fast as it wants to be. It's still going to be slow making filament changes. So if you're using all 4 different colors, that means every time, that's 4 different colors it's changing every time it prints. So it actually adds to the speed of the machine, which is fine if that's what you want. If you want color, it'll do it. And some people were complaining about having bleed through between the colors, and this is just regular PLA, and I haven't seen any bleed through from it. I printed that with it. I've printed this little Christmas tree that sits on the edge of the table, and it's actually a knick-knack holder.
That's where you keep the medications.
Yeah, that's where I hide my medications. Printed a little, I think I showed this, a little ghost that sits on the edge of the table. You'll notice that some of the stuff, the trees not or whatever, I printed in one color. That was just so that I could get used to the machine. And let me tell you, the software to use this is totally different from the software I've used before. So I got one of these I printed for Halloween. These hang on your door, on the edge of the door.
On the frame, you mean?
Huh?
Like on the frame of the door?
Yeah, on the frame of the yeah, on the frame of the door.
Yeah, okay, I see it.
Yeah, and it sits up there perfect. They don't know. And then I printed me a. He's a mechanical. I can't remember the name of him from Star Wars.
A droid.
Yeah, he's a droid. But you remember when you hit him on the top, he goes down into a little shell or whatever. I can't think of the name of these.
Star Wars lost me. They're milking it now. They're just milking it for every buck they can get now.
Oh yeah, they are.
Stories are pretty.
Go. Aussie man. So how much was that thing, Russ? I got it on sale, and I got it on sale for $8.99, and if you had to buy $100 worth of filament to get it for $8.99. But the thing about it is, they give you a $50 gift card back when you buy the filament. So, I mean, and you need the filament anyway, so it's not going to hurt. So that wasn't that bad. But they were running an early Black Friday sales. I don't know why they call them Black Friday. Black Friday used to be the first day after Thanksgiving. That was the weekend, and everybody would run down, and that's all the sales within. Now they do Black Fridays any time of the year. I don't seem like there's any more Black Fridays.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of Black Friday stuff going on right now. Different things, and I'm like, but it's not Black Friday.
Yeah. James Parker said good night. He's leaving. Okay, and I got something else that just come out. A lot of people have these. I got the first 50 of them. No, it was 100. I think the first 50 or 100 of them produced. Okay. And I signed up for it because I've been wanting one of these. It is Sunlu. It will weld you PLA and stuff together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So if, let's say you have, I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's say you have 6 feet of white on the end of a roll, and you just use some of the white off of a brand new roll. You can actually fuse that 6 foot to the brand new roll and use it. You don't waste it.
Oh, I need one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yep.
What did that cost?
This was, I think, I got it for $49 because I signed up and did the promotion in the very beginning, but they're either $69 or $79.
And where do you get them at?
Sunlu. You can type it in and put Sunlu filament connector. Yeah, look it up right now and see how much they're saying it is right now.
Okay.
This is one of the first ones that they sent out. It's called Black Friday because when you get home, your wife beats you black and blue for spending all the money.
It actually says it's on sale right now for $49.99.
There you go.
Wait, that's a year. Let's change over here.
All right.
$44.99.
Okay. They originally priced them in higher than that, but that's what I paid for this one was $49.99. Yeah, it actually will weld the PLA, PETG, weld those together. I haven't even tried it yet. I just got it out of the box. So I don't even know how it works.
Len asked if you could melt 2 colors.
Yes.
One color to the next. And then...
Yes, you can melt 2 different colors. You can take red and white and melt them together. The color doesn't matter. Yeah, you can melt any color you want.
So does that have like a trimmer, and then you trim both ends and then stick them in there and it butts together and welds them? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, that scanner on your thing.
Okay.
This is an industrial version of it. So you can see kind of, this is the laser emitter.
Uh-huh.
And then the laser line will go down and bounce off something, come back up, and this camera looks at it and it sees how high stuff is. So it measures the profile. So that's, you can't really see it that well, but yeah, that's kind of what's going on with that one. So that's one line, and it's not meant to be real wide or anything like that. This guy is a 360-degree scanner. So this will go out 30 meters and see a pencil at 30 meters if it has to. Let me see, get it to boot up here.
Cool.
But so this one's sending out, got every tenth of a degree, it sends out a laser beam 250,000 times a second. It bounces off and comes back, and it does the math on the inside and tells you where, if you want to go through, like, they'll take these things and go through tunnels with them, or if you're in a car plant, you want to see if a new car body will fit in your plant. You put this thing on a little cart and then run it through the paint line and stuff like that, and it'll 3D image the whole area that you're working on. So these things are on little bots, like in warehouses and stuff like that. Then this one, I'm not selling things for work today, but this one does this one does the same thing that this does, except it's got 4 lines on it. So you can look at for a so you can look for look for the floor. If you got this on the front of a forklift, you can go, and as the forklift's coming up to a shelf, you can see if somebody's standing there or if something's busted off the bottom of a pallet or something like this. So this has 4 lines that go out and do the same thing that other thing did. These are pretty popular on little robots and stuff too.
Very interesting.
Lots of fun to play with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Operators
Put a couple of zeros on it. Yeah.
52 payments of $19.95.
Yep. There you go. Better put them in the box or we'll lose them.
Yeah. Lynn's wanted to know if you can fuse one color to the next, and when you're changing colors, is it faster? You could technically, but you would have to figure it out down, and you would have to do a lot of math, because let's put it this way. It actually, whenever you what's called slice the image or the toy that you're wanting to make, it'll actually tell you how much filament it's going to take to use that. So if you did the math and say, I want half of it red and half of it white, and it said it's going to use 42 grams, and you could split it in 2 and do 21 grams, and you would have half red and half white. But you'd have to do the math, and I don't know if it's that accurate or not. If your math would be that accurate or not. But technically, yes. If you had let's say that you had something that you wanted a tool, for instance, that you wanted to make, and you didn't care what color it was, you could take red, purple, green, fuse them all together and make the tool, and use up all your old filament and not waste anything. And that's my problem. I'm running down to where I'm getting, small amounts, and I'm scared that there's not going to be enough to put on or make the project. So that's the reason I bought it. All right, just looking out to see if there was any more questions.
We were talking about this before the show, but I got a new lathe, and it makes pretty good stuff. So I'm real happy with it.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's pretty.
Yeah. I've got I don't know how to get this out either. So maybe somebody in the chat that's good with it. It's got, because this one was on the old Harbor Freight lathe that I've got, and it kind of wobbles a little bit. There's spots on here that I can't sand out. They look like little baby skid marks on the on the plate. But I tried that big scraper, that big honking thing you got, Chris.
It might be in the wood.
Scraper won't even take it out. It could be. I don't know.
It might be in the wood. It might be just something in the wood, kind of like a defect in the wood.
I'll have to keep scraping it.
I haven't seen these new lathes yet.
Let me hang on a minute. Let me Harbor Freight.
Yeah, I know somebody that was making a table, and they joined 2 pieces of wood together, and the centerpiece, so to speak, would not take stain. They wanted it a darker color. There was something in the wood when it grew that it would not take the stain like the other pieces. Yeah, they had to basically scrap it and start all over again.
That sucks. Yeah, not that I'm buying a new lathe. I already got to talk my wife into a new miter saw and a new bandsaw.
One thing at a time, huh?
Yeah, the bandsaw is a priority. Miter saw, if I can't get it to cut straight. I have broken it all down, put it all back together, still can't get a straight cut.
Yeah.
Everything is zeroed out on it too. So,
Hey, Russ,
try
let me
one
share
more
my
time. Maybe you
screen.
can tighten something up enough. I don't
Yeah,
know.
go ahead.
Present, share screen. Yeah, whatever. Share. Doing. Here we go. Let me look over at YouTube and see when it starts going on there.
Hasn't got there yet.
Nope.
I got you in slow.
7-8 second delay.
Oh, there it goes.
Nope.
Fine.
I got all four of you. There we go.
Yep.
Okay, blow that one. Blow that guy up.
Oh, so that's the
So
new.
yeah, so it's 20 inches long. That other one I had was like 36, and I never made anything that big. So,
Yeah.
but it's got speed control on it, and you've got electronic speed control within these three ranges. But this thing, another thing that's nice about this is that it goes down to like 60 RPM, and that other one, the green one I've got, it won't go down anywhere near that slow. So when you're trying to put finish on something, this
Or
is
sand, even
or
sand.
sand, yeah, it's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
And that's what my other one wouldn't do. So I was actually bending pen mandrels on that old one because it had these things were off a little bit. And no matter what you do, they won't come back together. But these go in pretty good.
Yeah, either a bearing or something got bent or was off,
Yeah,
and it was.
I don't know what it is. It's been a good lathe, but I mean, it was time to do something different.
Yeah,
And then this is that indexing thing I was telling you about. I think it indexes every 10 degrees, and you can lock that, so you can do.
That's not a bad price either. $5.99.
Yeah, well, and it was 15% off last weekend, so that's why I went ahead and jumped to get it. But the thing that started this was that I keep having to lean over that green one because I can't get it up in the air high enough without putting it on something huge, and it was just killing my back. I'd make a pen or something like that, and I'd have to go sit down after I was done with it.
Aussie Man wants to know what make of lathe is it? It's Harbor Freight.
Yeah, it's their new like Bauer line of their higher end tools.
Yeah.
So,
they stopped doing business with Central Machine.
I don't know. I haven't seen any Central Machinery yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen any Central Machine tools in there. So
they must have. Didn't see anything.
I think this one's the same as a Jet, and then there's another company out there that, you know how it is. You guys, there's one company makes stuff for everybody kind of thing. But I saw a Jet out there that looked just like it, and another one, but I can't remember the name of it. So I'm just thinking, hey, if they're making this stuff for these guys, it's got to be okay.
Years ago, I saw someone do a video that they took parts from a Jet and they matched up against the same part on a Harbor Freight lathe.
Yes.
And they're coming from the exact same molds.
And my bandsaw, which is a Harbor Freight bandsaw, is the exact same as the older model Jet machine. Parts will fit off of that Jet machine on my bandsaw.
You had good luck with it?
Yeah. I haven't had any problem with it.
Because if I turn my Craftsman into a boat anchor, I'm going to need a new one. So.
Yeah, I've had good success with it. Now, I don't know if they're making the same ones or not, but I went to Alex Snodgrass, the bandsaw guru. Me and him became friends, and I kept watching him use his Jet bandsaw, and I looked at it, and I swear it's the exact same bandsaw as my Harbor Freight. So once we became friends, I said, "Can I look at that bandsaw?" He goes, "Yeah, why?" I said, "I swear that's the same bandsaw as my Harbor Freight one that I got at home. I got the older version." He goes, "It is. They're the exact same saw."
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I just looked. Bauer is listed at Harbor Freight for their bandsaw, 9-inch. Maybe, but right beside it was a Grizzly for $255. I
Oh,
like.
that's not bad.
No, I
yeah,
like
that's not
it.
bad.
Honestly. Yeah.
I'm going to show this one to my wife. Christmas is coming.
Yeah, that's what my wife said when we were pulling the tickets out of the thing. She goes, "Merry Christmas."
Chris Nealon said he'll stick with his Powermatic.
Yeah, man, I wish
Wow.
I was looking at those things, but I just didn't have the money for something like that. I wish I did, because they are really nice lathes.
Yeah.
All right. Lynn's had handcraft wood, so you can make tie-dye items with your scraps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could put a bunch of colors together and make something and be all different kind of colors. And that's why I said that's one of the reasons I've been trying to research a way on what to do with some of my filament. So a lot of people just take it and melt it and buy the molds and pour it in the molds and make things with it from their scraps.
Yeah.
And I kept on trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And lo and behold, I'm sitting there one day and I get an email from Sunlu saying, "We're coming out with this new filament splicer, and if anybody's interested in, you can go ahead and pay $49.95 right now, and when they come out, we'll see how many people want them, and if we get enough people interested, we will start making them and produce them on the line." So I was like, "Oh heck yeah, I want one of them." I mean, for $50, I mean, come on, it's not
yeah.
I haven't even tried it yet. I gotta try it. I might do that tomorrow. Play with it tomorrow and see if it actually works.
Aussie said he paid $4.5 grand for his wood lathe. He sold a bus. He said he sold a bus. He had to sell it or buy it so bad.
Sold a bus. I had to buy it.
I like where your head's at, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah, he's told me before that things over in Australia are a lot more expensive than they are here in America. Yeah. Well, one of the things is that they get you is for their import tax.
Yep.
When you buy something that's not made in Australia, if you buy something from America, you not only pay to ship it halfway across the world, you pay for them to bring it in there, the import tax. I forgot who it was now, but somebody wanted a hat, and a friend of his bought it and sent it to him and paid the shipping over here. But when it got there, it cost him like $40 or $50 import fee for the hat. For a hat.
Canada's like that too. I sent the demo case up to one of our sales guys up in Toronto, and it was like $80 to send that thing there on UPS.
Wow.
because of the import fee on it.
Wow. That's another thing too, Chris. Start checking around like on Facebook Marketplace and a few other places like that for a good used one. You might stumble across something.
I go through those at least once a week.
Yeah. I was looking for something the other day and was looking through it to see what they had. Oh, before I decided to buy this printer, I was looking through. That's what it was. Before I decided to buy this Bamboo printer, I was looking to see if somebody had bought one and didn't know how to use the thing. I was wanting to get rid of it for. I'd pick it up for a song, but nobody wanted to get rid of it. So
it's always the way.
Yeah. Just before we, two things that I mentioned a couple of things I didn't like. The door thing, having to leave it open, or you have to fix a way to leave the lid open for that thing. I don't like that part about it. And you have to use their slicer. I mean,
is it that big of a deal though? Really?
No.
No,
it's not.
like
it's not.
You're taking a filing and slicing it for a printer. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, it's not that big of a
cares?
deal. But
Yeah.
I will tell you the learning curve is totally different from anything I have, because their slicer will actually let you layer things and to be able for painting it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's totally different. I never had to do that in Cura. And then
Yeah.
also, if you got multiple parts, you can fill a whole plate. And let's say you've got 3 or 4, you can actually put a second plate into this file. So when the first plate finishes, it tells you plate number 1's finished. Well, it cools off. You take it, pull all the stuff off of it, stick the plate back in, hit the button, and it starts printing the second plate. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Woodward says Bamboo Studio is great. Yeah, I'm impressed with it. It's just that I have never had to deal with some of the stuff, like 4 colors, for instance. And then I know I'm doing something wrong, and I've been watching videos on it, but it keeps on losing what machine I have. In the settings, it should be able, once I tell it I have, a Bamboo X1C, it keeps on losing that. I don't understand why. For some reason, it's not, saving it somewhere, either in the cloud or on my machine, on my computer. Oh, Lynn said he just picked up a Delta 14-inch bandsaw for $110. Woo! You got a deal there.
Yeah, read on why he got it for $110. So
all right,
he scored pretty good on that one, man.
They said it didn't run. There was a plug underneath it was not even plugged in.
$110 for 14-inch Delta.
Oh,
He scores, man.
yeah, really.
That happened with my old Porter cable saw. It just shut down in the middle of a project. I could not get it to restart. I even unplugged it. I let it sit for a day, plugged it back in, nothing, no life. So I put it up for sale. It said it probably needs a motor, boys. Whoever wants it, make me an offer. Guy gave me $150 for it. Before he left my driveway, we plugged it in. He reached underneath and hit a reset button. I did not know it was there. So that's okay. I already had a new saw, but I felt like a complete idiot.
Yeah. Sometimes I've done some pretty stupid things. Like one time I was working on a chainsaw for somebody and replaced I think it was a carburetor, replaced the carburetor and all the fuel lines and everything. Sit there and was cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking, and I couldn't get it to crank. And my son walked up, and Cameron, he said, "What's the matter?" I says, "I can't get this dadburn thing to crank. Here, you want to try?" And I handed it to him. He looked at it for a second. He said, "Well, it might help if you put gas in it, Dad." Yeah. Oops.
Just tell him it was a test to see if he knew. So.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. We're out of here. It's a 9:04. I want to try to make it to church in the morning. So y'all have a great rest of the weekend. I actually got my mowed lawn today. I've been wanting to mow it for the last 2 or 3 days, and I actually got the lawnmower out. I actually had to steal the battery out of my riding lawnmower to put in the generator during the hurricane because I didn't have a battery for the generator. And so I had to go buy a new battery. So I had to put it back in my a new battery in my lawnmower to mow the lawn. So I finally got that done. The generator was way more important at that time than the lawnmower was. Trust me.
Exactly.
So, but we'll see you next week, and hope you had a good time. I appreciate y'all being out here. Thank you, Donna and Jim and Chris and Paul for being here tonight. Listen, if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, you're just lazy or too darn busy. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
Night, boys and girls. Remember, you do not have to go home, but you cannot stay here.
No, if you do, you got to pay rent.
because here won't be here very shortly.